Greetings everyone and welcome to round 1 of the 2025 Liga Virtual F1 Championship. The lights are about to go out and we are off for 29 glorious laps of the Melbourne Grand Prix circuit in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. You gotta love that with the Australians. They don't do like we Americans where we name it one thing but it's actually in a different city than the name on the title. Just the strangest things that we do in America. Jumping back into the action with Fino in that beautiful number 28 car leading the way. That Mercedes doing its best to stay in front of Alejandro in the number 7 Aston Martin. But Alejandro not backing down, saying, hey, look, I've got British ponies over here. Let's see what that Mercedes can do. They're driving already super close, as if the racers don't realize we have 28 more laps to, make a pass or get ahead of someone. And just like that, as if serendipitous, we already have a yellow flag. Thankfully, it is quickly cleared so we can get back to the racing. Sparks flying from the number 14 McLaren that's driven by Danny. The track cameras mount getting a proper stress test with each driver passing mere millimeters from the wall. These drivers already proving that they are not here to play. And if they are, the name of the game is taking names, kicking ass, and bringing home the championship. Focusing now on Ace in the number 10 car from Racing Bulls, showing us exactly how that racing line is to be painted around this course. Ace, of course, in the number 10 Racing Bulls, just one of 20 drivers hoping to bring home the checkered flag in this awesome race. Speaking of which, it looks like Vangador in the number 16 McLaren is going to go for the pass on Ace, but can he do it? Let's see. And no, he falls back to the wayside, potentially making contact with Lenz in the number 75 Williams car. Lenz jumps off the track to avoid further calamity. The racing intensity continues to grow as we are only in the second lap of this race. The camera shifting its attention to the number 33 car, an Alpine driven by Goran, or is it Alpine? I'll let you guys fight about that in the comments. Jumping on board with Addery, the number 19 Alpine or Alpine, we get a front row seat to Goran shooting sparks off of the curb and doing our first Tokyo drift of the season. You know we got to call those out when we see it. Addery safely passing his teammate to collect 11th place and move slightly up that ladder. Lap 3 as we jump into the TV cam of Goran as he chases his teammate down, trying to get that spot back. Can he do it? Not yet, and he goes around. I think there might have been a little bit of contact as the yellow flag comes out. Can Goran safely get back on track? Hopefully. That's one of those racing incidents where I always have a tough time telling who's at fault because I always forget what the rule is. Like if you're on the inside and you're definitely making the pass, do you have the right to that line? I imagine you have to give way to the driver in front of you, right? Like there just has to be some rule around that. You can't just push people off course. Much like Ivano and the number 19 Racing Bulls just did to himself, giving Vangador and the number 16 McLaren an easy pass. The number 50 and number 75 Williams car driven by Thijsman and Lenz respectively, both shooting their shot to take advantage of Ivan's mistake. Will they be able to do it? Only time will tell. Looks like Thijsman's going to try to catch the draft as the number 33 car goes hard into the wall. That number 33 Alpine car driven by Goran, and he's back on circuit, not taking the pit lane, so maybe it wasn't as hard of an impact as I thought it was. We shall see. We jump over to a great chase between Ivan O and the number 19 Racing Bulls, and Lenz in the number 75 as he cannot keep the pace and goes into the wall. You see this kind of thing happen a lot. You saw him go off track a little bit, trying to chase down Ivan. He got focused on the target, wasn't watching the track, and went off, much like we're seeing here, as it's Adri's turn in the number 19 Alpine car to share some of that luck that Goran was having earlier. The yellow flag quickly disappearing as we sort ourselves out and get back into the race. Shifting focus now, we follow my favorite driver, number 13 Cabeza speed in that beautiful Aston Martin, getting hypersection with the rear wheel of that number 95 Mercedes driven by Marit, who in typical Marit fashion refuses to back down. We cut back to a nice little wall tap. Mangelic in the number 96 Haas car testing the structural integrity of the track barriers. All the while, Ivan in that number 19 Racing Bulls just making his own track, steering a little wide into the corner. That little oopsie giving Thijsman enough room to sneak on by, and now Ivan is back on the hunt. That is one thing I do admire about Ivan. It doesn't matter how he gets past, this man never accepts defeat. Goran at number 33 taking a trip around the world. Let's get you back on track and back in the race. Lenz in the number 75 Williams taking full advantage of that little mistake and jumping into the 12th position. And in all the excitement, I missed that Mangelic in the number 96 Haas car is out of the race. I guess that impact was just as hard as I thought it was, as we have Addery in the number 19 Alpine going hard into the wall. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of his race. These cars are insanely well engineered, but they can only take so many love taps before they tap out. Lenz in the number 75 Williams car getting a little bit of rally action as he finds his way around Adri. We jump forward a bit to Danny exiting the pits, getting back into the race. Danny taking the optimal racing line there. Maybe not completely within the regulations. Optimal, yes. Legal, We now cut to a dogfight between Ivan and the number 19 Racing Bulls and Jazz Whitfield in the number 5 Red Bull. Confusing, yes, but I like it too. Jazz Whitfield, of course, a reserve driver for P. Rodriguez, who I'm guessing had to take Le Mans classes to miss this race. Thijsman in the number 50 showing no mercy to the reserve driver, teaching Whitfield the harsh lesson that I know this track better than you. Excuse me while I pass you. And we're back. A little bit of render stutter giving us a freeze frame of that beautiful pass. Thijsman pulling away handily with 9th place. Jumping ahead to Marit in the number 95 Mercedes, trying to hold off Danny. Can he do it? No, it looks like Danny has the inside lane and the advantage, and he starts to pull away just as quickly as he appeared in his rearview mirror. But you and I both know Marit will not let that stand for long, so I cannot wait to see how Marit gets that position back. Or if he does it all. Maybe he won't. We know Marit is fast, but Danny isn't exactly slow, and he knows these tracks very well. So he'll know exactly where he can take advantage of his driving style versus Marit's. Looks like there's trouble down under. Lenz in a number 75 Williams car pulled off to the side. Probably had to make a phone call. Nope, he did not. He made a phone call with a wall. I hope that call was collect because the wall definitely collected him. Did I just make that joke? That was awful. I apologize to anyone who had to hear that. Anyway, jumping back into the action between Danny and these two always go toe-to-toe, with each driver knowing exactly how to push the other driver's buttons. Beep, bop, boop, boop. I am programming you to tell me how to get past. No, seriously, I won't make any more bad jokes. I am so sorry, guys. That may or may not be a lie. Which part? Yes. Alejandro continuing to put pressure on Danny as Danny throws sparks in his face, trying to keep him at bay. Spy versus spy style. I wonder if that's like a legitimate racing tactic, like you just hit the curb a little bit, throw up some sparks, maybe throws them off their game, surprises them a little bit. I don't know. I might try it in my next race. Danny laser focused on the next corner as Alejandro is laser focused on Danny. Almost sounds romantic when you say it like that. Like, you may be focused on the race, but my heart is focused on you. Yeah, I told you guys I wasn't done. Just like Alejandro is not done trying to get his position back, he is really riding the ass of Danny here. And to the person listening in the sound booth over, listen, I am talking about racing. Trust me, this is all it is racing. And we cut ahead to who I believe is Vengador going right into the wall. That cannot be fun. Like I said, these cars are super well engineered, but they can only take so many love taps before they give up. And I realized I misspoke. That was actually the battle between Vengador and Cabeza Speed back there. I don't know how I can forget my lovely Cabeza Speed in that beautiful Aston Martin. As Vengador goes around again, at this point you have to suspect something is wrong with the car because typically Vengador does a pretty decent job of keeping it on the black stuff. Reserve driver Whitfield makes his way by, but Gordon isn't so lucky as he love taps Vengador back into the wall, which gives us the opportunity to teleport on board with the number 95 car driven by Marit. That beautiful Mercedes closing in on Ace in the number 10 Racing Bulls as they rocket into turn 1, and it looks like the pressure was a little bit too much for Ace as he bounces off the wall, and Marit makes it on by. It's a vicious cycle, and I'm starting to sense a theme here. If you are in Marit's crosshairs, you're probably going to end up in the wall, so just don't pass Marit, question mark? No, but in all seriousness, Marit is an exceptionally skilled driver and is exceptionally skilled in keeping the pressure on whoever he is following. And when he's behind someone putting that pressure on, it's typically only a matter of time before they make a critical mistake. As we traverse a wormhole forward in time to the penultimate lap, lap number 28 of 29, Whitfield getting schooled in the apex by Vengador, who makes a miraculous comeback from, well, facing backwards, pretty much saying, get off this number 9 position, I got this. The final lap now underway. Fino in the number 28 Mercedes maintaining a commanding lead. Vengador in the number 16 McLaren showing his racing chops as he whizzes by Thijsman in the number 50 Williams car, which takes him back up to 8th place. We focus on Fino as he enters the DRS zone on that backstretch, and he is across the finish line to win round 1 of the 2025 Liga Virtual IndyCar Championship. Congratulations, Fino. And congratulations to our second and third place finishers, Alejandro in the number 7 Aston Martin and Danny in the number 14 McLaren, respectively.